So your color palette, right? So once you have decide on your most prominent color and your color scheme, you're going to want to produce a color palette. This means all the colors that you're going to use for your site. So typically you want to limit the number of colors. It's the same thing with typefaces. We haven't really gone into that yet, but you want to limit your typeface to usually 2 or 3 typefaces. You don't want to have too many because then it just becomes completely separated and it doesn't work together. It's the same thing kind of with your color palette. You want to try and have anywhere from like 3 to 4 colors, and try to not go beyond that if you can help it. Most of the time, if you're working with a client, they're probably going to have a color palette sort of established, or they'll have a very specific product color, and then you can use that as kind of a starting point. One of the things personally that I'm not particularly good with color. Some people are more sensitive to one part of design versus another part of design. I have certain areas that like I'm stronger in. Color's just never been one of those things. I'm not really a painter. I like to draw. So I put a couple of these resources in here. Really, I would just use the top one. That was the best one, I think. It's just color.adobe.com. I don't really care about this. Okay, and we'll close out of that. Basically, it's going to be this site here, which let me make this smaller so you can see it. And what it does is it helps you find your colors. I'm going to go ahead and put this into the dark mode because I think that looks a little bit better. And what you can do is you can choose your different kind of color schemes. You see analogous, monochromatic, triad, complementary, split complementary, square, compound. We didn't really do some of these other ones, but let's stay on analogous. And then what I can do is I can drag this swatch like so, and then it will give me colors that will work together. And you can actually grab these as well and move these around. Okay, so and then you can find a color scheme that will work for you, and you can kind of make some adjustments, and you see it'll auto kind of change them depending on what is necessary, and you'll end up with your colors. Now notice they give you the hex code right on the bottom here, which will make it a little bit easier. So you just got to copy those. You can see it has a little copy button. You just click that, you copy it, and then you would just put that into your composition. Okay, so this particularly works well if you already know what your main color is. You can kind of just drag that there and be like, okay, these colors would work with it. And then if you need to shift them, you can shift them around a little bit until you find something that works for you. There's a lot of other tools in here that I'll cover kind of later on, but it's a pretty great tool for trying to find colors that work together. I have a hard time matching color, so you might find that useful. And there's some other tools here as well if you would like to try them out, but it's not necessary. I would try this one, and that might help you for the current assignment.